Action. Okay, I'm here with my report for the 25 days of retention. I wanted to mention, I put it in my thumbnail last time, but I wanted to say it just for your information. I am 31 years old since end of last year. This is how I look like. I definitely don't look like I'm 31 years old, right? This is partially because of genetics, but partially definitely also because of retention, yeah? Anyway, the synchronicities are off the hook. This is something crazy that I realized. For example, just right now, I was thinking about when you start the video and you record the voice separately, then you need to have this thing, yeah? And so I had to clap and so on. And I was just thinking about it that I have to do it. And in this moment, I hear one of my bottles suddenly make a crack noise. The bottles, the plastic bottles. That was already funny. And I have more funny synchronicity. Sometimes it's really entertaining. For example, I was listening to another guy. He was saying, I only see at the moment. I'm not allowed to say what it is here. I'm sorry. I would like to, but I cannot. In this moment, I open my Instagram and I see exactly the same thing there that he was just talking about. Okay, anyway, I will now go through a list of benefits. I mean, it's now day 25. I could have, of course, waited until day 30 because then it's more catchy. But if I already feel like I have stuff to share, why on earth should I wait? I don't know what I'm going to do when it's day 30, maybe do a recap or whatever I feel like. But if I feel like sharing, why should I not? I have this time again with ChatGPT made a summary of my points, of my notes that I wrote down. So, number one, mindset shifts and problem solving. Yeah, so basically, you perceive more positive interactions and moments day by day. So, your mindset gets more positive. You also forget about the feelings of depression, frustration, negativity, lethargy. They all go out of the window. You stay positive, and now you have another mindset when it comes to issues. It's a triumphant feeling. You feel like you're already triumphing, and therefore it happens because you perceive everything differently. Like, even if sometimes, let's say, some interaction goes not completely well, like you expect something to go a certain way and then someone still is not paying attention to you, let's say. In the past it would bother you. You would be like, oh, I'm on a streak, that why is it not happening? And now you're like, okay, whatever. And then because you have such a mindset that you don't care about anything, you get more attention actually, and you get more positive results from everything. Because even if there's some micro event that doesn't go well, you simply don't care. And so you have this higher positive energy frequency, and this is why you start attracting more positive stuff. It definitely is not just magnetism, it also literally, explicitly is because you behave better in every way, and this attracts the people. You're just really, really calmer. And people pick up on this. This is why you get more attention, because you're absolutely not needy and people cannot deny it. And of course, people like it. Just like recently, also, even with the bee, that I had a flower and I wanted the bee to sit on the flower. And first, I was a bit worried, and the bee was feeling it, so it flew away instead of going on the flower. But then I tried a second time and I was peaceful, and so the bee came and nothing happened. And it was on my flower. Also, even when I'm in the shower, I like to sing. So I'm singing there, and then when I put the shower head over my head and the water runs down my face, normally I'm so worried of water somehow, I'm not the best swimmer and stuff. So normally if the water runs over my face, I start to get really short breath, like I'm like I cannot breathe properly anymore when this happens. But even this, I now noticed I don't care anymore. I can sing while the water is running over my mouth, over my nose. It makes this funny way of singing, where it's like, but I can do it. In the past, I wouldn't be able to do that. Why? Because now I'm more peaceful and I don't care anymore to the same degree. So, yeah, you get positive micro events every day, like positive interactions. Like I said, this is point one. I don't want to linger too long on the points. I have other stuff to do actually. I hope I have enough time for everything today. Okay, chapter 2, perception and reality changes. Okay. Okay. Basically, much of what I already said, it's ChatGPT. It's not my own categorization. I'm too lazy to put it all together by myself now. I don't have time, honestly. It's not even such a long streak, I guess, that I should care too much, maybe. Anyway, one important, interesting thing that he has written, I already realized this in the past on other streaks. When you get on a decent streak, the buses, when they drive to the bus stop, they will always directly stop with the door of the entrance directly in front of your face. I mean, they see you, the bus driver sees you, and he already feels like respectful or whatever. And so he tries hard to directly stop in front of your nose. And here we go back to the point I mentioned before. Like, if it once does not happen, you also don't get furious about it. Like, I always expect people to do like this, and if they don't do and I'm not on the streak, I'm like, and getting angry or something. But now, even if once it doesn't happen, like, I don't care. And so it starts happening more because you're not demanding it, and it just randomly happens because you have this general emanation of this positive aura that you are detached, and so naturally people will do stuff in your favor. It's crazy how this whole world is so spiritual. Even though humans are basically like evolved animals, deep down it's a very spiritual situation that's going on. Next, reality feels smoother and things are subtly working in your favor. Okay, that's for sure, but the bus is a perfect example for that. Chapter 3, emotional stability and mental health. Okay, less depression, like I said. Feeling more internally fulfilled, for sure. Yeah, like I noticed definitely a change. Like I was dreaming recently that I was in a video game in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and I made a nuke explode in Grove Street, where CJ normally lives. And then I was flying off with the jet, and later I returned, and the whole area was reset like nothing ever happened. So it felt like a cleansing ritual in my dream. You know, dreams are just metaphors. And I saw an old hag walking away, and I let her walk away. For me, this is a sign that my energy got a reset into a positive, higher layer. Because when I started edging in autumn of last year, this is when my energy got lower, and I also was dreaming of witches, and they were evil, and they were super strong, and I couldn't get rid of them. So now the witch walks away by itself. For me, this is a clear sign that my energy is rising, and I'm now cleaner. Like I even remember after my 90-day streak in the past, when I started edging again and stuff, it was in 2023. I remember how I even got downloads of dirty thoughts that I already forgot that they exist. This is what happens when you are on a streak and then you get again floppy. You realize the contrast really. Like suddenly you are thinking in a more, unclean way and stuff. And it's a difference like day and night. So, yeah. Let's see. Chapter 4, energy, discipline, and drive. Definitely, definitely. I remember in autumn when I got together with my girlfriend and then got sloppy with my practice because I basically achieved what I wanted. I wanted a girlfriend. This was my main reason to have a streak back then. And then I started etching again. And I remember I would oftentimes visit her. And in the morning, she has to go to university. I have to go back to my place. And how tired I was. And then I would arrive and I would be so tired and sometimes want to go directly back to my bed and so on. And it felt even so difficult to stand up and everything. I remembered the feeling in the bus, how I was sitting there and so tired and everything. And now it's completely not the same. I wake up the same time like her when she has to go to university in the early morning, and I can easily do it. And then I come home and I have time to be productive, all day long. So I actually enjoy waking up early now. Even recently, I got high with her while watching series. And normally I would also be so tired when I was just a bit high, okay? And I would normally get so tired when after the series I'm still chilling for a while in the bed, and I have really to force myself to stand up and brush my teeth. But this time, easy, completely easy. In every moment, you just suddenly get the impulse. Okay, you already were lying enough now, and you stand up, and you don't even second guess, and you don't even question yourself. I don't have to put any extra energy into standing up. I easily jump out of the bed or from the couch or whatever. That's a crazy difference, honestly. But I definitely also have better routines than in the past. I have now stuff to do, be it these videos, be it currently my course that I'm doing. Later, if I have more time, I will focus on also making another YouTube channel with something more practical that might get me more views. That's an idea. And this is very important that you have your schedule. If you don't have a schedule, of course, maybe you're going to edge or something because you just have too much time. You cannot every day just go for walks, even though I was doing this in summer, but it gets boring. Yeah, you need something real, something that is worth doing, where you can put your energy in, that you can transmute it instead of edging, for example. Like for me, I mean, complete relapse is never even a question, but edging, this was my issue for quite a while because I also didn't see that it's such a big deal, but now it's obvious. Like now it's completely obvious. I see the differences now, like day and night, compared to the time when I was edging is crazy. Because the problem is, it also, when you edge, you know, the energy gets lower over days and weeks, so you don't directly notice it. But trust me, when you then stop again, you will realize how suddenly everything is more nice. Okay, chapter 5, confidence and identity. Yeah. You know, when I was not on the streak, I was worrying that people judge me and I was judging myself because sometimes I might be a bit too much, moving too erratically. You know, I don't know, always worried that I do something that is a bit weird, that I somehow am too have too much of an expression, that I look a bit weird or walk a bit weird. And now that I have more energy, actually, I sometimes feel I'm even more weird because I simply don't care and I'm swagging around like however I wish. But actually, people respect me more because I'm owning it now. Like, I'm not worried of being a bit weird or off. And this is much more important. It doesn't matter if you're a bit special. Actually, it just makes you an individual. It makes you actually less of an NPC and more interesting, to be honest. And the main part is, are you awkward about it or not? Like, you can be a bit weird, but you're not awkward about it, and people will respect you more. That's the cool thing about it. So this is definitely something. You care less, and then people treat you much more nice. To be honest, I would be happy that people would respect you even if you are worried and awkward. I mean, I have a reason I got awkward. It's because of what I experienced in school time. So I think it's not completely fair, but I cannot do anything against it. Maybe it's karma, maybe it is fair, maybe it's from other lives, so I had to experience this life journey, whatever. Maybe it's completely everything is fair and this is just a spiritual reality, the deeper layer of truth. Yeah, whatever. Like I said, you get less naggy when you get on a streak. Like in the past, I would philosophize about these things for eternity and say, yeah, everything is so bad. Like I'm still not completely over it. I'm still a bit naggy because it's hard to accept everything the way it is. You know, but in general, yeah, it's much easier now, and I understand that if there's no point, then why do you want to argue? If there's another way and there's a way out of any issue, then you just apply it. And a very strong part of this is to be on a streak. That's it. Okay, social attraction effects. Yeah, it's just interesting. You know, this never would happen before I go on a streak. I post a song on Instagram. A girl a day later posts the same song that because she was also suddenly listening it on Spotify. Like such a thing would never happen. Or what else is here? Yeah, people, girls, whoever, start to engage with you again. They talk with you when you are in the bar or whatever. Those same girls that would have started to ignore you once you got sloppy with your discipline, when you started edging and so on, now they see you again. Now they by themselves come up to you and talk to you again. It's just true. What should I say? Um, yeah, and some even get shy. Like I was recently walking on the street, a girl was walking in my direction, she was seeing me, she was looking shyly into the corner away from me because I don't know, she did not know how to handle it, you know. That's yeah, but I mean, okay, whatever. Not my problem. For me, it's still a validation sign. Chapter 7, intuition and awareness. That's a cool one. I watch series with my girlfriend. I already can predict what happens next in the episode because to me it's so obvious. Like my brain processing. In general, I'm good with such stuff, and in general, I'm on the smarter side. But when you get on a streak, then you get really, oh my god, it starts to feel like clairvoyance sometimes because you can so well predict what's about to happen, be it in a conversation that you already feel like you know what the person is about to say, or be it even from a series that you already have the intuitive hit. In many cases, because you just simply can already anticipate what is the most likely outcome of what is going to happen, because it just matches a good storytelling or what the person might be going through and therefore will tell. So, number 8, dreams and subconscious changes. I already mentioned some stuff about dreams. I just can say one more thing, I guess, and this is the fact that I got more vivid dreams randomly, and it's always nice because you can interpret dream symbolism. This is a skill all by itself. For example, I was learning to detach a little bit from over spiritualizing every aspect of what happens and be more rational. And then in my dream, I was seeing Santa Claus flying in the air, but it was just actually an event made by humans. And Santa Claus was actually like a drone, so it had technical reason. It was not magical. So this was like a symbol, just an example. Number 9, relapse contrast. That's stuff that I already mentioned previously. Also, yeah, I'm not going into this again. Number 10, personal growth realizations. Yeah, it's just that like 50% of retainers that I was listening to when I was edging are not interesting to me anymore, or let's say their messages are not interesting. When they start talking about girls' attraction, it was always interesting for me to listen when I was still edging. Now I don't care because it's just a very basic part of the streak. So this is not that interesting. I think when I was still edging, I was trying to enjoy and live a little bit of retainer experience through listening to other retainers. But now that I'm retaining, I'm focused on more interesting parts of retention, and I'm drawn into other retainer types as well now for listening on YouTube. Yeah, so what this boils down to basically is that you start to look more on the inside instead of being focused on the outside for advice, because you have now your own experience that you're building on the streak, obviously. Yeah, all right, that was it. I like this type of recording. See you next time. Bye.